Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of Behind Enemy Lines. This is the ever-anticipated mock draft episode. And as they say, better late than never. We were supposed to get this to you guys a couple weeks ago, but scheduling conflicts and Mario's kid being a little too good at baseball have put a spanner in the works. So we're bringing it to you now. So this is basically at the very last moment, way too late in the game mock draft. So we have some rules and regulations that I want to go over before we go through this. So each individual member of this fine, esteemed panel of dumbasses will get a pick in rotating order, and we're basing the draft order off of our records with our pick'em from the previous season. So the draft order will go Uncle Mario picking first overall, Jay at number 2, Ryan at number 3, and myself at number 4, and then rotating back up to the top with Mario at 5, etc., down through the NFL teams in their current positions. We have made gentlemen's trades with each other to make sure that each member of our esteemed podcast gets their team in this mock, so that we can talk about what we think they should do with that draft position. Because it's more fun to get it from a fan than like if I was just like, yeah, whatever, the Bucks should pick this random D3 tight end, because that's not fun. But the other rule with that, as a joke, we want to put ourselves in the shoes of if we were the owner, GM, whoever makes the decision for the draft of these teams, and make what we believe is the best decision for these franchises. So we'll get a chance to defend our picks if it's a little weird, if it's not what we've seen, if it's not the norm. That's kind of the fun of this, is people are going to have to justify their picks a little bit, and we'll have light discussion in between picks. But in addition, this is not pre-rehearsed. We're doing this as a live draft as it happens. So if somebody takes somebody with a pick that we were intending to pick with a later pick, we have to scramble to find a new person in that position and justify our argument. So this is real time, baby. We're live, pal. We're going to do this kind of as we go to simulate the pressures of draft day as well, because we thought that would be a fun little twist on it. There's a lot of straight-laced, up and down, black and white mock drafts out there where they've had a lot of discussion beforehand, and they're just analyzing by themselves. Here it's like a real draft war room, and I think we've all done a couple weeks of research on this, and I'm really excited to see kind of where it shakes out. But I hope those rules were clearly stated. And even though I've already talked about it in the production meeting with these nerds, do you nerds have any questions before we get started here?
No, sir.
Also, just real fast, because I was so rude, how are you all doing? Are you excited for this? Are you prepared? Let's hear from y'all.
I'm excited. I prepared. I feel woefully underprepared.
That
GMs feel, honestly.
So that's gonna be fun. What about you other two nerds?
I'm excited to see you guys. It's been a while.
Mario.
I'm excited for the draft, and I'm excited to see you guys as usual.
That's so sweet, Unk. I am wearing, quick shout out, Pat Tillman t-shirt given to me by the Unk himself.
My man.
As a Cards fan, all-time great. We love Pat Tillman here. But unless you guys have any other comments, the last thing I will say is, if one of your picks gets snaked, I want an audible cuss word and a drink from y'all, so that we know that some plans have been changed. I think that'll be fun for us and fun for the people listening and watching. Sound good, boys?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. All right, so Mario, you are on the clock at number 1. Tell us who you're picking.
This is an easy one. I'm going Bobby Boucher with the Mud Dog.
Hell of a pick.
Listen, guys, this is an easy one. Real quick. Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, Jacksonville, has been dying for a prospect like this. He's one of those once in a every 30-year prospects to come out. So yeah, my pick is Trevor Lawrence.
I think that's a no-brainer there. I'll just say I'm happy, because I think that's a great pick in theory for Jacksonville. But knowing Jacksonville's history, I have a feeling they'll find a way to fuck it up. I hope that doesn't happen for Trevor's sake, but I think it's a great pick there.
Yeah.
Any other comments from you two other nerds? It's as simple as that.
That was the gimme. That was the
every mock draft I've seen says is like number 1, Trevor Lawrence. Move on is the description.
Yeah,
that was the gimme of the podcast.
Yeah. I gave you the tough one to start, Mario, because clearly with your pick'em record, you needed a little layup. So, Yazzie, number 2. What do the New York Football Jets do? Not only the second overall pick
in the NFL draft, the New York Jets select Zach Wilson, BYU.
Also,
and this is also, we all know this is coming. It's been for weeks. Like every time you see Joe Douglas, he's smiling when they mention Zach Wilson. Last thing I'll say on this pick, he's the highest rated passing grade of any quarterback in the Pro Football Focus era.
That is something to be said for that. And again, I hope he does well there, especially since I'm the one who has to hear about it if he sucks ass. But I think that's another great pick there.
Yeah, I don't see how. I don't know. I just don't see how you don't, like, with those first 2, 1, 2. I just don't see how you don't go 1, 2.
Yeah, it's like a foregone conclusion at this point.
Yeah, like they might have just signed the contracts.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Well, that's there's formalities. There's other things involved there. Cox, how dare you? Now let's start the argument, because I know where this is going and I'm excited for it. Coxie, who do you have at number 3 overall?
At number 3 overall, the San Francisco 49ers select Mac Jones.
I have him on my list too.
So the thinking here is that Mac Jones is complete now. As an NFL quarterback right now, he's more complete than Justin Fields is. Justin Fields, don't get me wrong, has a lot of pure talent. 100% he does. But it's going to take a couple years to fulfill that talent. You're going to be a very one-dimensional offense with Fields right now. Fields doesn't do multiple reads. He does one read, doesn't work, run. Mac Jones can go through progressions. He's not going to take unnecessary risks. He makes smart decisions now. And again, I know football IQ is kind of like a ridiculous kind of thing to go off of. But Jones has that. I mean, Jones is the one who taught. I forget who the guy coming into their offensive coordinator. But
Couldn't tell you.
But they sat him down with Jones, and Jones explained their offense to him in detail. Jones can learn an offense very quickly. He's very smart. He's very apt. He's ready for the NFL to start now. And I think the 49ers going into this they're gonna keep Garoppolo, but it's only a matter of time before Jones is the starter. Or hell, if Jones is the starter and Garoppolo is your backup, it's not the worst thing in the world either. The Niners are ready to win now. Jones helps you win now. That's why they do.
I'm sure Jay has something to say.
I just Fields is hands down the better passer in this at number 3, and that's all I'm going to say. He's the most accurate quarterback in this draft. So,
Mario,
I would take Fields here.
Mario, you got anything about this?
No, I actually had Mac Jones as.
Oh,
I just think I had him down here on my list as the number 3 pick going to the 49ers. There's just been a lot of rumblings that he's their guy. So.
Yeah. No, and I totally get why he could be their guy. I think he fits well in that offense. He doesn't have to do a ton. We haven't seen a ton from Jimmy G, so if you want a younger, smaller contract Jimmy G, I think Mac Jones is your guy. But what I disagree with is at the 3rd overall pick, you want to get a franchise transforming talent. I don't believe Mac Jones is that at the next level. I think he's good. I think he'll be a fine starter for a handful of years, maybe a decade. I don't see that next level from Mac Jones. And I think at that 3 pick, you want to take a transformative talent. That's my argument for maybe one of the other guys. Maybe you go, a different position there. You want to get a transformative talent that high. Mac Jones isn't that. So again, even though we're not talking about trading in this live draft, I think they traded up for it. So it would be dumb for them to trade back for it. So they're trying to get somebody. And if they want to give away that capital for Mac Jones, then I wish the best for the Niners. And I hope it, personally, as a Cards fan, I hope it fucks their franchise. But I do think Mac Jones is going to be a serviceable pick. But if you're going serviceable at 3 overall, you might want to reevaluate the way you evaluate talent and the draft.
That's an excellent
Very
point.
true. Very true.
That's fair. I'm going to disagree and say that he's not going to like change the way the quarterback position is played, but he's going to play the quarterback position well enough to win you games, get you to the playoffs every single year. And with the roster they have, that's a Super Bowl team right now.
If you're happy enough with well enough at 3 overall, then again, more power to you. I'm not looking for well enough at the 3 spot.
You take who you love.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit the wrap it up button.
Yeah, no, that's fair because I'm next anyway. I was only talking so long because I was next anyway. With the way the everything falls, I think this is almost a no-brainer pick. You can get quarterbacks in the future here for Atlanta, so I think you go best talent available. So at 4 overall, I have Atlanta taking Kyle Pitts, tight end.
I can see that.
By every athletic measurement, the best prospect in the draft. He might split out wide. He might stay as a tight end. He can do all those things in that Falcons offense that's already, Julio Jones, I know he doesn't get the touchdowns and he's starting to get old, but he's still a weapon. Calvin Ridley's been popping off the last handful of years. Matt Ryan can still absolutely get people the ball. Todd Gurley or whoever else you have at the running back position is always going to be something there, but getting a talent like Kyle Pitts at 4, I think would be foolish for Atlanta to pass up that kind of talent to make that potent offense even more potent. Which is, I think, something they really need and could help them get back to those, Super Bowl days, those Matty Ice MVP days. And that's where I'm at with that pick.
Yeah, 100% agree. I mean, you can't really cover him. So it doesn't matter where you line him up. You can't really cover him. He's just too athletic. He's too big. It just, that's now a triple threat offense in terms of passing. And it's, if they get Kyle Pitts, and it's going to be hard to stop. It's going to be really hard to stop.
I had Kyle Pitts at the number 4 pick as well on my list, and it's just one of those guys. They don't come along, very often. And you have Julio, Ridley, and Pitts. I mean, that's a triple threat, man.
Yeah.
But listen, it's all going to depend on if the Falcons trade back. If they don't, I think they snatch Pitts up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Jay, anything from you?
I think I had 3 options here, and I think any 3 of these options would have been fantastic for them.
You're going to cover up the other 2 in case they're there for you later?
And it was going to be either Kyle Pitts, Trey Lance as the quarterback of the future, or Jamar Chase. Any of those 3, I think, is a home run for the Falcons. And Pitts has been described as a unicorn, which means like this kind of player doesn't come around all that often.
No.
And that offense is fucking scary if you add that to what they already have.
100% full agree. Mario, what do the Bengals do at 5?
The Bengals help Joe Burrow, and he gets his guy in Jamar Chase.
No.
It shouldn't, but that's a good pick.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Justify it. Tell me.
Jamar Chase is the pick. I mean, the Bengals offense, it's going to be fun to watch for a long time. He needs weapons. I mean, I was on the fence whether I would go with the big offensive tackle. I mean, he just got hurt because, they couldn't protect him. But I think, they addressed some of it in free agency. I just think if Chase is there, they're going to bring in his guy.
I think that's totally fair. That's one of the theories I've seen is reunite him with Joe Burrow. I think that makes total sense. I personally disagree. You protect your investment. And if you have bar none the best tackle in this draft sitting there after this run, he's sitting there at 5.
Yeah.
When was the last time the best tackle in the draft dropped to 5? You are getting a blessing, and I wouldn't be shocked if the Bengals franchise does that because I've seen what the Bengals franchise does, so I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think it's a terrible move with the justification of Chase and Burrow reuniting, but I think you take the tackle there for Joe Burrow, and that's where I'll leave it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, I was on the fence. With best offensive, tackle or the playmaker. I just think that Cincinnati, they don't have the rationale that we all have. I just think that, they just see big plays and they're more worried about reuniting him with somebody that he's familiar with.
Totally fair. Totally fair. Jay, I'm going to put you in an awkward position for the first of 2 times tonight because the way this happened to go, you're picking for the Miami Dolphins twice tonight. What do you?
I'll be objective about it.
What do you think they're going to do at 6?
If the Bengals take Jamar Chase, then they're going Sewell here. They're taking one of the best tackles in recent memory.
Wow.
This guy can do literally everything. He's phenomenal. He's going to be very soon. He might be one of the highest paid players in the NFL. They're taking him. They're going to protect their investment in Tua.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Anybody else disagree with that?
No.
Nope.
No, if he falls there, you got to go there.
Yeah.
I think I fully agree with that.
Absolutely
got to take him.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Coxey, what do you got for us for Detroit? Probably the 0-17 team this season. I'm calling it.
Yeah, probably. Shit.
Shit.
It's tough. It's tough. If it's one of those things where, like, if Jamar Chase were still there, I'd probably take Jamar Chase. So you know what? I'll give a shit and drink to that.
That's what I was gonna say. It seems like you got checkmated there.
Now I'm stuck. Do you take Patrick Surtain or do you take Devontae Smith? They need both. They need both of those things. I'm gonna go with Patrick Surtain. They need defense.
Wow. Okay.
That's higher than I expected, but
Wow.
Defense.
It's not a bad pick.
And given what Dan Campbell wants, he wants kneecap biters. He wants guys that are going to be there.
Don't quote that fucking imbecile.
If I'm the GM, I got to go with the guy I hired. I got to get him what he wants, what he's going to need to succeed. And he's going to want this guy to be a foundation in his secondary and really solidify the defense of Detroit. It's one of those things where you can kind of gauge their offense and see where their offense is going to be this year and fill that in, later. But the defense, you want to kind of start building that now. And Patrick Surtain, you don't get a better cornerback in this draft than Patrick Surtain. He's the guy that's going to be physical, he's already, Alabama's pretty much, how many defensive players do they put in the NFL that are pretty much ready right off the Every year they do this. So I feel like it's a lock. If Jamar Chase is gone, then at 7, you got to take Patrick Surtain and really just shore up. That's what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little surprised by it, but I don't hate the pick. I think Surtain's going to be so good. He's one of my favorite corners in the draft as the DB nerd. So I don't think it's a bad pick at all. I think it depends on the mindset of the coach. So I think you really did a good job rationalizing him wanting to stiffen up that defense. Rationally, I think maybe this is a deep wide receiver class. I maybe would have taken one of the other wideouts, but I think there's definitely a chance he goes at 7, which is a little higher than I expected. And I don't think it's a terrible pick. So I respect it. Any other comments on this kind of shocking development?
No, I don't know. I'm a little surprised by it, but he has the highest floor of any cornerback in this class. He's ready to go, and I think, like you said, Cox made a really good rationalization between taking him that high. I don't think any draft pundit would really critique it too much. Yeah.
No, I'm in agreement. I had him going to the Cowboys at 10.
Yeah.
They're all kinds of desperate for the best cornerback in this draft. So other than that, if you can get him at 7, you take him.
Yeah.
100%. This throws a spanner into my plans with Carolina at 8. And it leaves me with a tough decision because there are 2 QBs on the board that I didn't expect to be here.
Shit's weird.
It's already getting weird. So do I go with that route or here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna spice it up. Carolina Panthers at 8 in this draft. The way this is going, they take Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle.
Whoa!
Not terrible.
You trade for Sam Darnold. You put an offensive line in front of him that can put put this former top 3 overall pick in the best chance to succeed. They don't need wideouts. They have talent at wideouts. They have Christian goddamn McCaffrey in the backfield. Sam Darnold's not going to have to do that much. And if you can protect that investment, this is less a pick for them to get the sexy jersey buying QB. And this is a chance. Rashawn Slater is a talent.
Yeah.
If Penny Sewell wasn't here, this guy's going maybe top 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. He's that
legitimately think that he's better than Sewell.
He's that good. And if Sam doesn't work out, there are other QB drafts where you can get a guy. You want to maximize the potential of what you can get out of Sam Darnold. You protect him with the best offensive tackle. And in a year down the road, if Sam Darnold's not there, you still got one of the best offensive tackle prospects we've seen in a bit. So long term, I think it's the better move for them. I know Trey Lance or Justin Fields might be sexier, might make more dynamic plays, but for the long-term health of the franchise, though I toyed with going with these QBs because I didn't expect them sitting there, I'm going to stick to what I had written down and take Rashawn Slater here at 8 for the Carolina Panthers.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it too.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
I think that would, if it goes this way and those quarterbacks are sitting there and Carolina doesn't take one of them, I feel like draft pundits are going to be like, whoa, how do you not take one of the quarterbacks? But your rationale is 100% correct.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you have to give, if you trade for Darnold like they did, you have to give him a shot, something. And if they have no offensive line, then what was the point? You wasted draft capital and everything else for a guy who you basically set him up to fail. So yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Anything else about that? If not, we have our first trade, air quotes. This is in order to make sure that Mario gets the Giants in a couple picks. So Cox has traded with Mario, and Cox has the Denver Broncos here at 9. I have a feeling where you're going to go the way this board's laying down, but I want to hear what you think.
Oh, it's Justin Fields. Broncos are taking Justin Fields.
Yeah.
If it falls this way, the best court. Like, look, you can't put much stock in the quarterback they have. Why am I forgetting his name? Can someone please help me?
Drew Lock.
Yeah.
He's far from a lock.
He's far from it. Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. If Drew Lock's going to be the guy, make him fucking work for it. Like, Justin Fields is going to come in there and make him work for it. And hell, Justin Fields would probably beat him out because Justin Fields on talent alone is way better than Drew. So
yeah,
if it falls this way, Justin Fields hands down, easy.
Yeah, I have absolutely no arguments. I think if he goes to 9, it's a no-brainer.
Oh my God, yeah. I have no qualms with this pick whatsoever. No. If he falls that far, you sprint to the podium with him.
Yeah. No takes backsies. This is our guy.
I had Justin Fields as well on my list.
Wow. All right. Jay, how about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys?
Mario, fuck you with that Surtain pick? Or no, did Cox, whoever did that? Yeah.
Believe me, I had Surtain if it was on me. Yeah, it's still fucking
I actually do have a pick here that might piss DT off a little bit. The Dallas Cowboys select J.C. Horn.
I saw it coming. I saw it.
My list, Jason.
The most physically gifted corner in this class by a mile.
Yep. 100%.
It is special. And that defense is terrible. So, yeah, they take the best corner available.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Man, if fucking Cox didn't cuck them out of Surtain, I would have had a shot at him at 16. Sorry, but no. So you know what this means, though, don't you, Yaz?
What?
It's you'll see. It's locked in later on down the line.
Well, so does this mean we should get a fucking an expletive and a drink from DT then?
He was my first pick at 16 for Arizona, so yes, it's a fucking an expletive. Yep. However, I have contingency plans.
That's good.
And then we're gonna get a loud angry fuck from Jay. But as for the pick, yes, most physically gifted corner in the draft. Yep. I'm real high on him. I think he's going to be an asset, a day one starter for any team. And Dallas getting him here is very, very good, especially if Surtain goes early.
Pairing him with the Alabama corner, Diggs, that could be a tandem.
Yeah.
Could be.
100%.
They need it. Lord knows they need it.
Yeah.
All right, for our second Homer Simpson pick of the draft, Mario's got the New York Football Giants.
I'm interested.
So I've been going back and forth, but with Sewell being gone,
yeah, at 11?
and Slater being gone.
Oh, did I fuck you with Slater? I didn't get a fucking drink.
I had Slater.
I swear to God, if you say what I think you're going to say.
I had Slater going to the Giants at 11.
Oh, so you drink. You should drink because I fucked you.
If
Oh shit, he's
got a shot.
Let's go.
If the Giants didn't select him, I had him going to the Chargers. But I'm just going to say, if that's the case and the way everything falls out now, the Giants select Devonta Smith.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
That's an excellent pick. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I have no qualms with that. It looks like fast little guys might be the future here in the NFL for receiver, which is kind of surprising.
I worry about his ankles are about the size of my wrist, but the guy's a fucking playmaker. We've all seen him. We've seen him on the big stage. He's a playmaker. It's just another weapon. I mean, the Giants are going to be chock full of weapons, and I just think rounds 2, 3, they better. Offensive line.
Yeah.
That's all I want to see. Maybe an edge rusher here and there, but I'm telling you, they picked Devonta Smith as my pick.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. I think that's a good pick. I think it's a good fit too for what they're doing over there. So
I would defense between him and Waddle.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah,
it's
it depends on what you think's better.
Take the Heisman winner.
Yeah, at that point. 100% for sure. So now we're back on me, ain't we?
Yes, we are.
And are you guys having fun yet? I'm having a blast.
I'm having a blast right now. Yeah.
So what I would do here for Philly, the most rational thing to do at this point is take, I think, the most talented player available, and we go back to back wideouts here. I think they get Jalen Waddle. I think he's kind of gone under the radar with Chase and Devonta Smith taking a lot of the shine away, but he's an insane talent in his own right that I don't think is getting the due he deserves. I think they got, what is that now? Triple Jalen's over there in Philly with this pick. They got the Jalen offensive squad going on. And I think I'm again with the state that they're in, I don't know how much it helps them immediately be successful, but you take the best player available and see what you got with your QB and the rest of that offense now that like Rager's got a year under his belt and all those other people.
And that's my thing. So that's the only hesitation I have with them taking another wide first round is because of how Jalen Reagor turned out. Jalen Reagor for them this past year was a disappointment. 100%. So they might have some hesitation going another wideout in the first round. That's the only thing I can see them not. I agree with you. They should take him. They should take Waddle if he's there. But that's the only reason I can see doing that is because they have some hesitation seeing how Reagor turned. So
yeah,
that's the only.
I think Waddle's better than Reagor though.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, even like when they picked Reagor last year, I mean, DT and me were on a live, like, not.
Yeah,
we were talking via
video call.
I remember saying to him, I was like, I hate that pick. I don't think he's going to be that good.
Yeah,
he was a second, third round talent at that.
Waddle is going to be good. I don't think you necessarily don't pick the player because of past disappointments.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Philadelphia. I mean, let's look at here. They're probably going to fuck it up.
I think that's actually more than fair.
God's ears.
Yeah. Mario, I know the O lineman you kind of wanted at this pick are gone. So what are you going to do with 13 for LA Chargers?
With LA Chargers, I got them. I have them sticking with offensive line, and I have them going offensive tackle Christian Darrisaw from Virginia.
Oh, okay.
That's a good pick.
They need to protect the franchise there, and Herbert is he's a phenomenal quarterback, and that's how. Listen, we all preach offensive line, right, boys? Offensive line.
I played offensive line, so you got it right. I do.
So did I.
I like him.
That's true.
He's
Technically,
he's got a nasty streak to him, and I think he'll be a cornerstone there for a while.
yeah. I think for any other team, I would regard this as a reach, but for the Chargers here, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
That's my take on it. Is I think any other team could like afford to have somebody slide, but I think their need there is so high.
Yeah.
That I think you go with the best available OT, and that's who that is. I could maybe see them taking another edge rusher, maybe, but even that I don't love. So I like your pick. I like it. Again, anybody else I would have said you reached, but you like hit this perfect storm of like, I think that's, if this shakes out the way it does, that's probably the best they can do.
I think it's not only that, but I also think it's, if Herbert didn't play as well as he did, then they wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Since Herbert was clearly the guy, you protect the guy because you're good. You don't have to worry about
100%.
Yep.
So protect him.
100%.
That's why I think it's a home run pick by you, Mario, because like you know what you got. You have a quarterback. Protect his ass. You know.
Yep.
Was he originally there for you, or did you adjust that just out of curiosity?
I adjusted it. I actually had Slater.
Okay, I gotcha. So I did. I gotcha.
I actually had Slater there.
Is that the second time I got you with an offensive tackle? You need to drink for that.
Do I need to do another fucking shot?
If I get you, not a shot, if you can, I'm not going to stop you. But we're all doing like fucking regular drinks.
It's regular. Fine.
Minnesota Vikings for Jay. I know like one of your favorite teams because you really like purple. So
I love purple.
It goes good with his eyes.
Vikings here. Shit.
He's panicking. Did somebody take his shit?
I just like I'm thinking about like need for them.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
With Trey Lance.
Oh
wow.
Wow.
Okay, that is not all right.
No.
Interesting.
I don't believe in Kirk Cousins, and I don't think they believe in Kirk Cousins because there was trade rumors in the offseason.
Yeah.
My question to you is if they do that, do they trade Kirk Cousins then this year after the draft? Do they trade him?
I think they could. Yeah, I think they could.
Wow.
I think, but Trey Lance is one of those quarterbacks where he needs at least a year under someone.
I agree. And
I think it's one of those things where this would be a surprise, I know, but I wanted to like shock the world here. I do think that I think Trey Lance has every single like his intangibles are insane. It's off the charts. Like he has the ceiling, lowest floor of the entire fucking draft class.
You guys do see where this is coming from with Jay, right? You see the
yeah, I know. I was gonna say how much of this was to.
I'm just saying. Yeah. I had Trey Lance going to New England, and you fucking wanted to cock block New England. The hatred is there. I get it.
That was not my intention.
Oh my God!
Do you swear on the career of Zach Wilson that is true?
I do. I think this would be a smart pick for like.
Okay.
I'm
not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying, in your subconscious. Was that a needle to the?
I was put on the spot a bit, and I didn't really know who to pick. And you think like who do the Vikings really? What do they need? What do they actually need?
Interior offensive linemen, defensive ends.
Yeah, edge rushers. They don't get to.
There's really not that many good edge rushers in this class. Like, and not that none of them that I'm really excited about. Honestly.
Yeah.
No. So was there,
but at 14,
we'll see.
It's starting to get like, there's a couple that deserve to be at 14. They don't deserve to be at within the first 8.
Right,
no,
don't redo it then.
No, don't redo it. I like this is play it as it lies. It's a great pick for Minnesota. We're just saying.
And I swear to God, and this is not me lying, I honestly forgot that fucking the Pats were next.
Jay, I had to hit it off Frankenstein's fat foot earlier.
You sure did. Twice. I did that twice to you.
I really do.
I did that twice to you. So now with another this is the third one where the biggest fan of the team on the podcast is picking for their team with Cox. It's a Homer Simpson.
That's why he's so mad at me.
Residence Pats fan, Ryan Cox.
I am not a Pats fan.
Closet Pats fan.
All right, who do you got here at 15, baby?
A little bit of a Pats fan.
Who do you got at 15?
It was going to be Trey Lance.
Yeah, but that ain't happening. So, like, what do you actually got?
He's gone, bitch.
That's too damn bad.
Well, if all right, it would be. I'm torn.
Drink.
I already did, but I'll do it again.
Yeah. It was that upsetting of a pick.
Well, I'm torn. So because if they didn't get Kyle Van Noy in the offseason, I'd 100% go Micah Parsons.
Okay.
But Kyle Van Noy serves a perfect purpose for that defensive line. And fuck, but I can't do that. I can't base it off of. I'm gonna go Micah Parsons.
Okay.
I wouldn't if I knew they were gonna trade either if they were gonna trade Gilmore or JC Jackson. If they were gonna trade one of them, then I would go best cornerback available, which is Newsome.
Yeah.
But I don't know that. And Kyle Van Noy is only going to get you so far. And you still need linebackers because one isn't enough.
Yep.
So Micah Parsons is the best one on the board. Micah Parsons is who you're going to get since Trey Lance is no longer available because so Micah Parsons.
I think that's fair. I'm shocked it took this long for like a non-outside defensive player to be taken. Yeah. I kind of expected at least one to go earlier. Parsons was on my list for that. I think it's a solid pick there for them. I hope that he's terrible if he goes. I hope anybody who gets drafted there is terrible. And with Bill's first round acumen, I assume that whoever they pick is just straight up not going to be a good prospect. He'll probably pick some D3 fucking safety again. We've literally seen him do it.
Yeah. I personally hope that's not their pick in reality because I think he's actually going to be a fucking stud.
He's going to be really good.
I dislike this man for a variety of reasons, which we can get into after the podcast. But there's been several allegations against him that are
exactly. Yeah.
So if I was a Pats fan, I would hate the pick personally, just because of off the field things. On the field, it's a great pick.
Yeah.
Are you saying Pats fans have integrity? Are you changing your stance?
I
mean, we all know they don't, but you know.
Okay. Yeah. So Parsons fits right in there, buddy.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Oh boy. And now we got back-to-back Homer picks because it's me next.
Yes, sir.
I'm just fucking with you. Look at him get mad. Oh, he big mad. Jay, get your drink ready.
You son of a
I'm ready for that.
At 16, the Arizona Cardinals go Elijah Vera Tucker, guard, USC.
That's my favorite offensive lineman in the goddamn draft.
I knew it was gonna be too.
He's the best interior lineman in the draft, number one across all metrics. 6'4", 315, absolute guy. He can go out to tackle if need be, and our only weak points now with the offseason moves and certain things that we've done is our guards. So you get this guy to protect Kyler Murray, stud sandwich here. He's so good. I've been telling Jay for weeks, if somebody picks JC Horn before 16, I'm going AVT. And the prophecy has been fulfilled. So you drink...
I already drank.
You drink up. What do you guys think of the pick?
I love it.
It's a great pick.
It's a fantastic pick. In doing my research, I don't know how it came to me, but I was just like, you know what? They got a tackle last year. They're gonna want an interior lineman this year. And sure as shit, I was like, oh, Elijah Vera Tucker's watched his tape. I'm like, oh, he'd be fucking nasty with that fucking offensive line.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's gonna want.
And I love it. I love the pick because he is like obviously my favorite is Sewell, but like outside of Sewell, he's so fucking good, and I hate you.
Oh,
I actually had him going on my list. I actually had him going to Carolina at 15.
wow. Carolina.
So I think it's a great pick.
You got him going to New England at 15?
No, I mean, yeah, it was. I forgot the trade that went in. I have a list that's not as
Updated.
I got you.
But
Yeah.
no, I think he's going to be really good. I love the pick.
That's again those that I've been telling people. My mantra is either Horn or Vera Tucker. There, we can get either of those guys. I'm over the moon.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna have your pick of one of those two. I guarantee it.
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Mario, take me to Vegas.
Oh, I'm gonna take you to Vegas, and I'm gonna have to drink because Coxie fucked me up because I had Micah Parsons going. I had Parsons going to Raiders. Listen, with all the character issues, where would you fit in the best? Right over there.
To be honest, it's either New England or the Raiders.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Two trash ass franchises that draft terrible people.
With that being said, I'm going to have to call an audible. And I think they stay in that position. And I think they go Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa.
That's a great pick. Yeah.
Fuck you.
I was gonna do that with the Dolphins. My next pick.
Wow. Outside linebacker.
I would drink as well.
They need it. They need it badly.
Yeah, I wasn't on that train because my team that's next for me is a dumpster fire, so I could take my pick of anybody.
He's a great linebacker. He's being compared to he's like a Devin White light.
Yeah.
Mm.
He is. He can go side to side.
He's a tweener.
Super fast. He reads those running lanes. He can read that fucking super well. But don't let that fool you. He can drop back into coverage in a little bit if he needs to. He's fucking fantastic. And for the Raiders to get him at 17, that's a great.
I think that is.
Yeah, he's the new breed of linebacker.
Yep, 100%.
Athletic as shit.
Yep.
And can do like the play on, like you said, on 3 levels, really.
Yep.
Yeah, the Devin White, the Isaiah Simmons,
Yeah.
that kind of athlete. So great pick there, especially like Vegas loves athletes. They've always had those guys, the speed. They love speed in Vegas. I mean, John Gruden will find a way to fuck it up, but it's a great pick.
Sure will.
Oh man, give us our second Miami Dolphins in division pick for you, Jay.
I'm gonna go Kwity Paye from Michigan.
That's a fair pick.
He didn't have the gaudy numbers of like a lot of edge rushers, but he is off the charts athletic. He has all the intangibles that you want, and I think that they take a swing on him.
I think that's fair.
Good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no issues with it.
After losing Van Noy, I know he wasn't great there, but I think they're gonna want that edge presence.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, and it's one of those things where they knew. I feel like I can't remember his name, but they drafted or picked up a guy last year who really performed well for him, and that's why they said we don't have to pay Kyle Van Noy this money. Like it was a drastic overpay, so they cut him. And I mean, if you can just build further linebacker solidity through the draft, do it. 100% do it. It's a strength of their team. Continue making it a strength. And if you can keep that as a strength for your defense, it's a good, solid foundation to have.
Yeah, and the reason I made the pick is because of the physical tools that he has, and I think with that defensive system, they can coach that up to be a good player, if not a great player.
Oh, 100% agree. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Again, I think everybody kind of nailed it, so I don't have a ton to say there. Washington football team for Cox. They're coming up with a new name soon, and I like some of the ideas they have out there, but
I like the Red Tails.
yeah.
Do you?
I love it. Red Tails would be sick.
Red Tails, Red Wolves, I like.
Well, so it was gonna be Jeremiah Owusu.
Oh yeah, but you already drank for that.
So can you fill time for a hot minute? Well,
Sure. I can even, just so other people know as you do this, they're oh my God, what team? Washington. Their current primary needs are seen as offensive tackle, linebacker, safety, and corner.
Mm-hmm.
For those who may not know, so Cox is probably googling who's available in those areas. Obviously, he was going to take a linebacker with Owusu, so there's a lot of good prospects in all of those categories on the board. So I'm curious to see where he goes. I have a few names in mind where I think he might go. One of them I will have to drink for, and I'll be pissed. But there's a lot of good picks he can make here, and there might be some surprises depending on how he can justify it there. But I think, Washington football team surprised a lot of people last year, and I think offensively they're in a good spot. They clearly, with their 3 of their 4 primary needs being defensive, I think that's clearly like the question mark on that team. But they got like Scary Terry, that rookie running back from last year was really good.
Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna be in a good spot. The areas of need, if they can fill some or all of them with even decent prospects and talent, like I'd keep my eyes peeled if I was Mario down there in the NFC East.
I get that, but
believe me,
I still feel not sold on their quarterback situation.
No,
I mean, fair.
I'm not worried.
That's why I'm not worried.
I wouldn't be worried about Fitzpatrick lighting the world on fire.
That's fair.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
The only one who has a sure quarterback situation in that division is Dallas. So,
yeah.
Okay. All right. I think I'm ready.
What do you got?
I am going to take.
Motherfucker Jones.
I'm going to take Trevon Moore.
Okay.
Safety out of TCU.
He's great.
He is great. It's one of those things where Landon Collins is one man, and he's getting up there.
Sure is.
Is he?
I mean, he's 27.
Okay, so no.
Oh, I thought he was in his early 30s.
No, he's 27. Like he's
still young.
But here's my thing. So defensive backs don't go as long as other.
It's fair.
Mm-hmm.
So especially at safety, like that's one. You kind of need two. My thinking on this is that a lot of what year was zone defensive concepts, and a lot of that was because they couldn't really deal with over the top.
Yeah,
so they did a lot of flat zone and kind of let over the top go, and teams never really did because they were their pass rush could get to them. So the deep down the field plays never really were able to. Well, when it came playoff time, that didn't matter. When it came playoff time, the Bucs could go deep on them if they wanted to, especially with their zone busters, and they could kind of. And I think Washington's going to look at this and really think, okay, what in that Tampa game, in that playoff game, what stunted us? And it was not being able to keep the field in front of them. There were a lot of those game-breaking plays that were kind of 20, 30-yard passes, and it's because the pass rush was ineffective. Well, when the pass rush is ineffective, you need to rely on your secondary. So Landon Collins is one man, and he's good, but he's not enough. So if you can get Trevon Mooring in there, and you can kind of have him, be coached up by Landon Collins and the coach in there, which is a good defensive coaching. I think that really helps solidify your defense. And if the pass rush doesn't get there, well, then your secondary set. And their secondary is pretty good in terms of cornerbacks. Yes, it is a need, but it's serviceable enough, especially when you have good coverage over the. So I think if they're now able to mix in a lot of 2 safety sets and single safety, then that allows them a lot more freedom, in terms of the middle of the field, and it allows, if our defensive line isn't getting there, where they're having an off night, we're still protected. So it's kind of more of a setup for the long term than it is an immediate need. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's more my thing.
Yeah.
So I think Moorig's a good pick. I think he's the best safety in the draft specifically. I think there are a handful of other people, if I were you, I would have taken that I won't specify so that if they're there for me down the line. But for you really kind of like having to scramble there, I don't think going Trevon Moerig at all is a bad pick. And if you're on the clock, I think, you do. He's a good athlete. I think, again, pairing him with another good experienced safety, you could learn a lot from Landon Collins. There's a lot of positives to that. Yeah. Again, not necessarily what I would have done, but I don't think you necessarily reached, and I don't think you made a bad pick, so I'm not going to shit on it.
Yeah. I'm very interested in what you would have done. Maybe what we should do, and this is just a thought, maybe we should do like a quick after the draft kind of like summary or whatever that we can.
Yeah, no. That once we're done with this, we're gonna highlight some things we would have probably done differently that's what this is gonna be. But since I have Chicago, and literally, if I pick a person with a pulse that will improve their team, the pressure's kind of off. But I'm gonna pick who I'm actually surprised is there, because I would have. This is one of the people I would have picked with your pick. Okay. But I think it does also help the Bears. Again, long term, the Bears are a mess. So, like, again, any pick would be a good pick for them. But if I'm them, I don't think they will do this. But this is what I think they should do: is they should take Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle.
On my list.
Offensive tackle, Oklahoma State. He's a big guy. 6'6", 320. I know their quarterback situation's kind of mess. Most things
so fucking mad at you right now.
Drink.
He did. He already did.
Fucking
Drink
mad.
again. You're that fucking pissed.
320. Yeah, I think he's honestly better suited for Washington, which is why I'm shocked he wasn't taken. But since he's here, and one of the primary needs for them is a prolific offensive lineman, if you want to start the rebuild proper here, or I guess continue it, whoever fucking knows with Chicago, this is the guy you take, because no matter who's back there, again, it's like I've talked about with earlier picks here, you're protecting your investment. There are some athletes that I think they're probably going to take that are still on the board that we can talk about later. I think that's more what they're going to do, because I think in Chicago they like those sexier picks. This isn't necessarily a sexier pick, but I think it sets up their franchise better. And I think he's, again, the OT draft here is strong, and I think if you want to set anybody up for success back there, you take this guy because he's a dude and he's got the measurables.
So here's my thinking. So my thing is that Chicago has an investment that they should try and protect, because they've clearly kind of hitched their wagon at this point.
Yep.
Washington doesn't.
Yeah, fair.
Like, Washington's like really trying to build through defense, which I understand with Ron Rivera.
Mm-hmm.
That was my kind of thinking. But for Chicago, considering they kind of hitched their wagon to Mitch point.
For some reason.
I don't get it. I don't get that. But if you're going to hitch your wagon, I get this pick 100%.
Yeah.
This is an excellent pick. He was one of my favorite tackles, but I liked him more than he's my second favorite offensive lineman in this draft for one reason, and the reason is he has the best pass protection grade in the class by far, and that is the most translatable stat of any other stat for offensive linemen going from college to NFL. He projects as being a very good starter for years, and I'm fucking mad.
I'm glad I didn't have to pick Chicago, because I would have been fucked, because I actually had him as the pick.
Yeah,
I would have berated you, because
just for shits and giggles, I actually had Washington going with an offensive tackle as well.
Wow. Okay. I think I know who you're talking about, but we'll see if they come off the board. If not, we can talk about it at the end. But
I'll give you a hint. He's from Michigan.
Oh, okay.
That's just telling us.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be picked. I don't know.
I stay grinning here just because I love Jay getting furious at me and then putting me over for how good my pick is. It just makes me happy.
That is a great pick.
And it's happened twice already, at least with Jay specifically. And I'm loving the way this draft is going for my teams. But to change gears, Indianapolis Colts, Mario, who you got here in the Indy spot?
the Colts, they need defense. Particularly, they need edge, and I have them going with Jason Owe, edge from Penn State.
Okay.
Okay.
I like it.
It's a bit of a reach, but I like it.
Reach, but I like it.
It is a reach.
I just think he fits their scheme on defense. And like I said, I was on the fence with whether I wanted to go with somewhat on the offensive side, but I decided to go with edge. I think he's going to be their pick. He's going to be a player for them.
I definitely think he has talent. I think there's at least 2 guys I would have picked ahead of him personally, but that's me. I think, the talk about scheme's important. If you think he's going to fit there with those boys, I totally get it. Again, I don't hate the pick. I probably would have picked one of the other 2 in that position, but again, I'm not going to shit on you for it.
No, and I'm right there with you because, like I said, I've actually flipped the coin. It was between him or it was either Aziz from Georgia. I had them like neck and neck. I flipped the coin, and that's basically, I just think he fits what they do better.
Yeah, I think they're both pretty comparable players.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's a flip of a coin between the 2.
Yeah, but don't hate the pick. I think again, I hope that one works out for him. And yet another trade. This is just a 1-for-1. People swippy swappy in spots here. Coxie, you got the Tennessee Titans here so that Jay gets the Jets with the next pick, which I'm curious about now that I've totally fucked his plans.
Can I get like a board of who's been picked so far? Because I'm forgetting.
In terms of by position or what?
I
can give you a full recap. I have them all.
Okay, give me a full recap. Just real quick.
So at number 1, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Number 2, Zach Wilson. Number 3, Mac Jones. Number 4, Kyle Pitts. Number 5, Jamar Chase. Number 6, Penei Sewell. Number 7, Patrick Surtain. Number 8, Rashawn Slater. Number 9, Justin Fields. Number 10, J.C. Horn. Number 11, Devontae Smith. Number 12, Jalen Waddle. Number 13, Christian Darrisaw. Number 14, Trey Lance. Number 15, McCaw Parsons. Number 16, Elijah Vera Tucker. Number 17, Jeremiah Owesu. Sorry if I fucked the name. Number 18, Kwity Pye. Number 19, Trevon Moring. Number 20, Tevin Jenkins. And number 21, Jason Owe.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. And number 22 will be Caleb Farley.
A hell of a pick, honestly. Great pick.
It's the biggest position they need. It's 100% the biggest position the Tennessee Titans need. I don't see what other position you could try and present to me that they need more than a cornerback.
Yeah.
It's non-existent. It's a cornerback. It's the only thing they need. Caleb Farley's the best available. Go. I don't know what other justification I need to have.
You don't need one, really. I mean, the only reason that he falls this far down the draft board is because of the injuries. But if he's healthy, he's the best corner in this class.
If he's healthy, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. If you're Tennessee, you take that chance. If you're Tennessee at 22, you take that chance.
Yeah, definitely. I won't get into it now, but I agree with the pick generally. Yes. Yeah. There's another guy I might have entertained, but
Greg Newsome.
Yes.
Well, with the 23rd pick, the New York Jets select Greg Newsome.
Greg Newsome. I knew it was coming.
And my justification is he's all of the best interior linemen are gone. Tackles are gone. And our next biggest need outside of that is corner. And
correct.
This is what the reason he's been projected to go to the Jets so much is because he fits the solid defense to a T. He's big, he's long, he's lengthy. He's kind of almost like Cromartie-esque, where he his athleticism makes up for the fact that he's not necessarily the best man-to-man corner, but he has the length to make up for that. And I think I would be ecstatic if this was the pick in on Thursday. I think he's gonna be good.
Yeah, I agree. Great pick. If the other guys don't fall, if Farley's not there, I think if Vera Tucker's not there, if Tevin Jenkins isn't there, I think Greg Newsom's definitely there. I know you wanted an O lineman so fucking bad, but you could do a lot worse than picking Greg Newsom here. I like it.
That's the thing. If the board fell as it is right now for us, I would be really happy with Newsom at that pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think you nailed it.
Good pick, Jay.
Yeah, nobody else got anything to say? All right.
Nope.
I got the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you know who I'm going to pick? Najee Harris, running back.
Yeah.
It's y'all
No brainer.
It's essentially a lock and a no-brainer, especially with the way the board falls. If Tevin Jenkins or somebody somehow goes down there, they do need some O-lineman help with the, retirements and other things that happened in the offseason for them. But here, I think Najee Harris is a game changer for them. I think he'll help out immensely with what's going on. A lot of the good it's a lot of the same reasons that Jay was talking about. A lot of the good corners and linemen that are also in their primary needs are already gone. But with the absence now of James Conner, who went to Arizona and that I'm not crazy in love with, but that's a whole different podcast. You take Najee Harris here. I think he's great for them. I think it's a good pick. It's a way to help give Ben more. And it gives Mike Tomlin more. It gives him a weapon to work with, which I'm eager to see how that unfolds for them this season after the interesting ride they had throughout last season and the way that season went. But I think Najee Harris is the pick here.
Yeah, that's a great pick.
Good pick.
Yep.
Good pick.
Mm-hmm.
No arguments.
Love that. Love it when there's nobody yelling at me about stuff. Mario, Jacksonville at 25. Lay it on me.
Jaguars. They took their quarterback, but in Jacksonville esque, they go best available here, and I think it's got to be Christian Barmore, defensive tackle, Alabama. He's been rising. Look at.
Okay, all right.
He's been rising up the draft board like crazy, and truthfully, you can't pass him up at 25. He could easily go on the top 20, and I wouldn't even. But I mean, obviously, defensive tackles, you don't really want to reach for one. But from what I'm hearing about this kid, he's going to be a player. He's going to be a player. Thank you.
It's an asshole.
Have a drink. Fuck off.
Yeah. I personally love the pick. He's the best available. He's the best overall defensive tackle in the draft.
Yep.
And, being in the middle there, he's got good size, 6'5", 310. They need.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
They need all the help they can get, and I know they want most of that help on offense if they can get it, whether it's offensive tackle, wide receiver. And with Moehrig gone, I probably maybe would have gone with Moehrig here if he was available, but with the way everything's fallen, this is a great pick here. I could think of a couple options you could potentially go on offense, but I think this guy is such a talent that I don't think it's a bad pick at all. It's not a reach either. I think this is about the area he's going to go. Yeah. So I think it's a solid pick from you, Mario. And it is when you tilt somebody else at the table.
I love it.
Doesn't it feel good? Doesn't it feel good?
So good.
Good. I'm glad.
That's funny.
I'm so glad to hear it. Jay, Cleveland rocks, or at least they did last season because they made the playoffs. So tell us who they picked with their pick.
I think that offense is pretty good to go. So I'm going to go defense here. I'm going to go Gregory Rousseau.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
Hey, that's an excellent pick.
Yeah,
good pick.
I don't think he might fall this far just because he opted out last season, but most people had him as like a top 15 pick, like projection wise going into this draft. Before obviously COVID fucked everything up. I think that would be a scary ass defense if they picked him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good edge people on the board, and Rousseau's one of them. I think
he's the best available as far as edge is concerned, and just based off what I've watched.
Right.
I think a case can be made for a couple other people, obviously, but that's what I think. I think that's where I would go if I was
Yeah,
the
I mean, the
GM.
fact that he slid that far down is kind of surprising because everything I've seen, they have Pay and Rousseau are 1 and 2,
Yeah.
the two best edge rushers. So the fact that he's actually slid down that far to 26, I think that's a no brainer.
Yeah, for sure. I could be convinced to go Zaven Collins.
Yeah.
Because he's really good, but I'm going to go with the bigger school there. I'm going to go with the Miami kid.
Good pick.
Yeah, totally fair. I'm happy with that pick as well. Baltimore. Actually, this is weird because we're going to be sharing Baltimore picks later, Cox, since I have the one at 31 now. But show me what they do at 27, and that'll help inform me.
Okay, so for me, I really like this pick. This is the pick I actually feel the strongest in this entire draft. Azeez Ojulari.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because he's not only an edge rusher who can get to the quarterback, but he's also an edge rusher who can drop into short coverage.
Yeah.
And with the Baltimore Ravens scheme last year, I believe they set a record for the quarterback sacks last year. So essentially what they're doing is they're taking their edge and they're dropping them into short coverage into the flat and allowing their cornerbacks to blitz. Ojulari lets them continue that scheme to perfection. He's the best suited edge rusher for that in this draft. And I feel the strongest about this pick. Azeez Ojulari at 27 to Baltimore. For that reason alone, he allows them that ability to allow the cornerback, and he can drop into short coverage as well as on occasion rush the pass. Like he's versatile.
Yeah.
And for that reason alone, I feel the strongest for that.
It's a good pick.
Azeez Ojulari.
Gotcha.
Arguments from me, Cox. That's a good pick.
Yeah, and you're feeling so adamant about it. I felt like if I said anything, you'd fucking jump down my throat. So, yeah, you're a piece of shit. No, I think that's a great pick. I have the beautiful dilemma of picking for the New Orleans Saints here.
Yes, you do.
And it is truly a dilemma with the departure of Drew Brees and kind of it being a new era there. What way do we want to go? And I've been waffling on it a lot because I have prospects on both sides of the ball that I think would be quite good for them. But what I'm going to do is what I think they'll do. More than likely, as opposed to what... Well, no, because it's supposed to be what I would do, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like a 50-50. What you would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I'm also trying to think of like what they're known for. So I think for me, and this is tough, this is probably the hardest decision I've had to make so far. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pick Rashad Bateman, wide receiver out of Minnesota.
I would do 100%.
I would do the same goddamn thing.
Okay.
He's good.
Yeah, he's good. If you want to have the Jameis or the fucking Taysom Hill era start on a positive, you give him another weapon. I think that's the best thing you could do. I thought about going defense real hard here. There's some people I didn't expect to be there that I was thinking maybe a taken on the edge because I know they also need some edge help. But I don't think, even if, again, what it was the way this draft fell may not be how the real one falls. But even if it does, I still think that this is the pick that would and should be made at this position for them. Because I think he's a great prospect, a lot of talent.
I like the pick. I would have went a different route. I actually had Elijah Moore going there.
Oh, really? The Ole Miss guy.
Boy. Actually rated a little bit higher than Bateman, but I mean, I don't have any arguments with your pick. I think both are serviceable. They're very similar.
My bugaboo with Moore is he's 5'9".
Yeah,
I know,
and
I
only
know, but
185.
they have some taller guys on the outside. I just think, he's that slot elusive guy.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't have any problems with your pick. I think it's a great pick. I had more penciled in there on my list.
Totally fair. Totally fair.
I absolutely love the pick. Correct me if I'm wrong. Bateman, he opted out last season, correct?
I don't recall. I'll be honest.
I'm pretty sure he
I
did.
thought so. Think so.
But before I remember, you know how they do the way too.
He played 5 games.
Okay.
Oh, that's what it was.
But like I remember, they did like the way to like in the future draft picks, or you read the articles like in August or whatever. And he was like a top 15 pick in the way too early.
Yeah.
He's a talent.
He's phenomenal. He's fucking awesome. That would be amazing for that offense. Great pick.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it, boys. Oh gosh. Wow. Jay has all of the AFC East, but not except for the Pats, but that's not where we're at yet. We have the Green Bay Packers and Mario.
I'm very interested.
All right. Well, I don't know who picked Caleb Farley.
Me.
Okay, so that was basically I fucked you, you fucked me.
Yeah.
Scenario, because I had him going to Green Bay, but since he's off the board, Aaron Rodgers was really pissed last year that they selected a QB and didn't pick more weapons for him.
Tell me you pick another QB.
Yes.
No.
I have Green Bay with the 29th pick selecting wide receiver Kadarius.
Ah, you motherfucker!
I love it. That's an excellent fucking pick.
That's a great pick.
Excellent. I love it.
Eat it.
No.
I almost picked that at 23 for the Jets, but I know that they have bigger needs.
They fucked up last year. Rodgers, had they done what he wanted, I think they might have probably even made it to the bowl. They were that close. And I don't blame them for being pissed off. So I think they try to they make things right, and I think Tony's is a stud. I think he's going to be he'll fit right in. And believe me, if you're a wide receiver and you're going to be getting passes from Aaron Rodgers, could you be happier than a pig and shit?
No. Oh my god, that's an excellent. Oh my god, he's good. It's fucking insane. It's insane.
Yeah, Matt, him and Pitts were on the same team there at Florida. That team was.
That's the thing. Their tapes, Pitts as well. Their tapes are insane. And no offense to Kyle Trask, but look at who's throwing them the ball.
Yeah,
like Kyle Trask is okay, and that's how good they look.
He'll get picked eventually.
Aaron Rodgers. There, Kadarius Toney with Aaron Rodgers would be phenomenal.
Oh, it'd be
amazing. That's
excellent pick.
That's a great pick.
Because it's now like, oh well, now we can't just double Davonte Adams because otherwise we just leave Kadarius Toney there.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna open up the field for Davonte Adams. It's a fantastic pick. That's a great shout.
That is a hell of a shout. I love it. Honestly, Jay, let's go back to Buffalo.
All right.
I mean, like in person, but also yes for this draft.
But also, let's do that again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Asante Samuel Jr.
Oh, nice.
I think he's like a fringe, like late first, early second. But I think that's a need there. I think they need another corner on the other side.
Yeah.
And I think he's very talented. Obviously, he's not as talented as like some of the other corners in this draft, but I think with that coaching staff, I think he could be special there.
Yeah. He's got the pedigree. I think it's a solid pick. There are 2 edge rushers that I think they should pick there instead. Personally,
the reason I went corner on that one is I think and I've watched this 2 times a year. The scheme that they run, it's not necessarily that they don't need an edge rusher, but it's not as much of a need as some other teams. Because they run it so well. I think having another corner there would be more beneficial to them.
Yeah, no, and I get it. I like Samuel, but the way the edge rushers have fallen, there's a guy here who's one of the best edge rushers available who's just not. Oh. And you're going to get him, aren't you? Because I'm not going edge at 31 because you went edge for Baltimore at 27. So it would be dumb for me to take another edge rusher in that position. Otherwise, I would have done that. But What?
Oh, I was just like, for me, when I look at Buffalo, the position I feel they need the most
Yeah.
is running back. Like, they don't have a legit running back. Like, Moss was underwhelming. Etienne's there.
I don't prioritize running back as much as a lot of people.
I know.
Nobody does anymore.
When I'm looking at Buffalo and I'm thinking one position that would have really helped them last year in the playoff run would have been a versatile running back. Etienne is there. I feel like they take him. I feel like if Etienne's there, we might take him.
Yeah. And I honestly, like, I fumbled with those two.
Yeah.
I just feel like cornerback's more of a, like, and me and DT have had this conversation multiple times. I feel like cornerback is a more premier position. I think Asante Samuel Jr. he's pretty good.
I can respect that.
Yeah. No, I get it. Again, I probably would have gone with one of the edge rushers, but I don't hate the pick. I think it helps them. They'll benefit from it. I don't know where they are in other rounds, so I don't know if there was a chance I could have maybe snagged him if he fell in the second, but that's not what we're doing here. We're only doing the first round, so I can appreciate the pick 100%. It's me next in Baltimore. Cox was so kind as to go edge rusher with the 27 for Baltimore.
Yep.
So I will not double up on edge rushers because that seems redundant. So what I'm going to do instead is tackle another need for them. And it seems like I'm a broken record because I keep fucking saying it. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go Samuel Cosmi, offensive tackle from Texas. Protect your investment. Lamar Jackson, woo, big truss. I think, they need edge rushers. They need help, obviously, at offensive line and tackle as well. So I think that works. They also need safety and wideout help in a lot of ways, but I didn't love really them going to get like a safety. There are a couple wideouts that I was thinking maybe of grabbing here, but I think for what they're doing, and I feel like a broken record because I'm basically saying the same thing over and over again about protecting your investment. But he's a big guy, 6'7", 300. He probably is going to be fringe first rounder. And with the way that this draft has kind of lied, I would go him because my knock on the wideouts that are still available here are their size. And I think with Lamar Jackson being the way he is, I don't think smaller targets behoove him. So I went with the offensive lineman as opposed to those guys for that reason. I planned on going edge here before Cox did. So, I mean, I get it, but because of the way this lies, especially in these last couple picks, things get a little hinky. So in this position, I think Samuel Cosmi is the pick here.
Yeah, and I would agree with you. My only thing is, I would take, considering the way the draft was falling, I would take Elijah Moore here, only for the reason that wide receivers in terms of free agency are going to be hard for you to come by because of the way your offense is. So you kind of almost have to hold them hostage. So you kind of have to draft them. You're not going to attract a lot.
Well, he has Hollywood Brown, who I think is great.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of like,
and Mark Andrews, who, if you don't know, is my son.
But in terms of, like, in the future, attracting more to Baltimore, it's going to be hard because you're not a passing offense you're not a strong passing offense. And unless, unless they really start to turn that around, that's not what they are. They're a very run-heavy offense. So you can have to draft them in terms of getting talent.
Yeah. I mean, you're totally right. You're right in that aspect. The cool thing about the draft is it happens every year, so they can get one next year.
That's fair.
100% I was there with you. Like, I would have.
I was gonna take Tony here, fucker.
I would have taken. I was gonna go wide receiver for them on my list.
Yeah.
And you're talking about guys with size, and you got a guy from LSU, Terrace Marshall Jr., who's sitting there.
Yeah.
He's not a first. Though.
He's 6'3", and he's actually.
Yeah, I don't think he's a first round talent.
I have in my ranks. He's the 5th ranked wide receiver in the draft.
It's a deep receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's ahead of Moore. So I'm just saying, you were talking about guys with size. He's a big body. He's a big guy. So, like I said, I don't have any problems with your pick. I think it's a fair pick. It's a good pick. Just saying, if you're thinking about wide receivers with size, he's there. I think he would fit in there. Especially you got Lamar throwing that ball up. He's big enough. Go up and get it.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I actually like the pick a lot. He's a fast riser in this draft. He's been like going up the last few weeks as far as a tackle prospect. And I like him as a prospect. I think he's a little bit of a project, a little bit. He's good, but it'll take a while for him. He's not going to be Orlando Brown. He's not going to be, he's going to be a little bit of a work in progress. But at that pick in the first round, it's a good swing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I think you're fair. You're totally fair about Therese. Like, he's a big body. I think there are people who have him going there, and I get that. But the way they run, I don't think it's also crazy necessary.
Yeah.
For them. So I've been boring. A bunch of my picks here have been offensive linemen. I'm sure the fucking people hate me for all the offensive linemen I'm picking, but you got to move people to make things happen. So
I love it.
So I get you.
I've been saying that for 10 fucking years.
Dude, I love it. I don't care. It's the sexy pick. I love offensive line all day.
My dude. This guy gets
Close us off, Cox. And I'll say it for you, what do the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers do?
God, I hate that.
Yeah. Really
well, I'm in the unique position where I can draft for want, not need. Because I feel Kellen Mond will fall far enough to where they could take him in the second round, I'm going to go with Travis Etienne.
Ooh.
I knew you would do that. I knew that was coming.
Because don't get me wrong, I love Rojo. I do. But Rojo is incomplete. At best, he's incomplete. Etienne is pretty much complete. He can catch, he can run, he can go outside, he can go inside, and he can do a little block and all of those things. And that not only does it benefit Tom, whoever you get for the back of the future, he's going to be there, and he's going to be someone you can. That is why I would take Travis. He's a low risk, high reward pick for them at that position. It makes the perfect sense.
I actually love that pick. When you just won the Super Bowl, you pretty much have a complete team. They're pretty much bringing everybody back.
Yep.
It's a luxury pick, and you're in a position where you can pick a luxury pick. And if he pans out, I mean, shit, it's going to be even scarier for that offense. So I think it's an excellent pick.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm sick of us all sucking each other's dick. I don't fucking like the pick. With the way that this draft board has fallen, I think Jalen Phillips or Zaven Collins are much better picks at that.
Yeah.
You guys laud yourself for your defense. You said that you can go with a want, not a need, but I think getting one of those dudes on your defense makes that team better than ATN from the start.
Fair.
I think you missed it, and we've been too nice to each other. And it's your team, so I'm gonna hit you a little bit. And you won the Super Bowl, so fuck you.
Here's the
DT
thing.
with the slap back. I love it.
Here's the thing. You invest in Tom because Tom is your bread and butter, right? So Etienne helps Tom. You invest in Tom.
You know what helps Tom? If he's on the field less.
I know, I completely agree. But the defense as it stands right now is fine. It's fine. It's young and it's talented. It's fine.
You know what else helps Tom?
I forgot this was a draft of old, untalented guys. You're right.
Metamucil.
Oh.
That helps Tom as well.
We've got a truck.
I think if a talent like Jalen Phillips falls to you at fucking 32, you get on your big wheel and you take Jalen Phillips.
I'm not super sold on Jalen Phillips, honestly.
It's the injuries. The injuries scare me with him.
I'm not familiar with him. What
about Zaven Collins then, for argument's sake, because they're both sitting there?
I would take Zaven Collins.
Zaven Collins is a bit better. Jalen Thurston's concussion history with me is like, that's scary. Just his injury history overall is scary.
Mm-hmm.
His concussion history is very scary. That if he gets one more serious concussion, that's his career.
Yeah,
that's his career.
Mm-hmm.
And considering what the way that edge rushers need to be, especially with Tampa, and they gotta go and they gotta get there and they gotta fucking be buses pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of time before he gets one, and I don't want to put him in that position, being a first round pick.
Sure.
Where it's like so much is expected of you, and then you get a concussion and everyone's pissed off. But it's like, yeah, but if you look at the player's injury history, you understand it, and it's better for him to collect it. But some people don't see that. And for him, I just don't want to put him in a position where he's a first round pick with that injury history.
Yeah.
It'd be a big fuss.
Fair. And I like, as long as you're willing to admit that you did this because you were on a victory lap and it was the big sexy pick and you went last, then okay.
Pretty much, I'm on a victory lap.
Because there are better picks you could have made there than ATN, personally. But all right.
I do agree with the luxury pick idea, though. I really do. In a lot of ways. I think, edge rusher, sure, that would be a great one for them, but they're in a win now mode. They need to win now because Brady has what? One, maybe two. We'll see what Father Time has to say about that.
Holds up. It's all going to depend on how that offensive line holds.
Pretty decent offensive line.
I understand, but if they have if one of those guys,
it's twofold. All right, so the offensive line is good. It is a good offensive line. It is top to bottom. But Father Time is undefeated.
I hear you.
And Brady's living on borrowed time. So you are legitimately in win now mode. You take the best running back available, the best playmaker available.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good call, honestly.
I agree.
The thing is that whoever the bridge guy is afterwards, or whoever's going to be the quarterback afterwards, is going to benefit from having Etienne there. Like having all of those offensive weapons easier for that person.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's my thing. And I agree. Having an edge rusher there, having the defense be more solidified is going to help that quarterback too, because they're going to be on the field less. I get that. But the offense is pretty signed up for the future in terms of like the secondary and linebacking core. It's just your defensive line that's a little shaky coming in the future. But you can get that, and you can supplement that in future drafts.
Well, this is also one of the worst defensive line drafts in memory.
Exactly.
It really is.
Sure. Boys, we're at about an hour 27. I don't know if you guys want to do like 10, 15 minutes of debrief, or if you want to call it here.
Sure, let's do that. But I'm gonna do something I don't normally do
and run to the bathroom. Rip. Oh my God. You guys.
You go first. I'll wait. So that way we have 3 people.
All right. So all right, I guess let's kick this off with what are some standout picks that any of us made that you guys really, really love?
Really love?
Yeah, and then we'll do like questionable things that we didn't like.
Well, for me, Kyle Pitts at 4, I love.
Mm-hmm.
It's a slam dunk for me, but I love the pick. But for one that's not a slam dunk for me that I do love, D, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to go with Rashawn Slater. I do love that pick. I really do. That's a really
great pick.
That's a great shout. It is something they really, really need. And it's something that's going to help not only Dunk, it's going to help McCaffrey. That's 2 players in your offense that's the whole 2 in the hand is, one in the, 2 in the bush is 1 in the hand, whatever.
A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
Yeah.
A bird in the offensive line is worth 2 in the backfield.
That's right. That's what that is. And I think that's fantastic. I think that's going to help them immensely, especially considering that, McCaffrey this past year was really hurt. So having the extra protection in, opening of holes and gaps is going to really benefit. I think that's a great shout.
I do think it would be foolish, honestly, a little bit, if Carolina takes a QB with that pick. I think
100%.
So that's where I was at with that. I was not in the realm where I was ever going to pick a QB in that spot, unless like Trevor Lawrence fell to fucking 8. so that's where I was at there.
There was a couple of guys that I had on a list that were kind of projected that actually none of us picked. So I think it was kind of.
We can talk about that too if you want to. If you want to even bring that up now, that's fine.
Nobody picked Greg Newsome, the cornerback from Northwestern, right?
No, Jay did. No, Jay picked Greg Newsome for the Jets.
For the Jets, yeah.
You did pick Greg Newsome.
Yeah, Jay did.
Oh, you did. I didn't cross him off. I actually had him on my list going to the Jets at 23, and I didn't cross it off because that's what I was usually doing.
Yeah.
So actually, really, there's really not too many surprises. Maybe a couple.
Yeah.
We snaked each other a couple times, which
we all did, which was great.
I swear to God, I didn't take Trey Lance to spite the Patriots.
No, it's okay.
Oh, I know. We were talking about picks that we really loved.
Picks we loved, or just things that jumped out.
I loved the J.C. Horn pick.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I think that was a great pick. Super physical. I think he's going to be a stud.
I think he's so talented, so talented. Anything jump out to you, Jay?
Nothing really jumped out. No, I think that, like, pick wise maybe, but like the players overall 1 to 32, I think it was a pretty solid, like. Well,
that's what I was saying. Like, is there anything like pick wise that you were like, wow, that was a really good call at that moment with the way this fell, or anything you're like, that was fucking dumb?
Nothing was like dumb to me.
Right.
Trying to think, really. I'd have to look at the board again.
I know it's hard because I crossed people off.
Mm-hmm.
But I really didn't make notes to like who went where. I just picked the players, so like I don't know who picked it, but
I guess a surprise that wasn't really like. I mean, it was a surprise, but also a good pick was Samuel Kosi.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. That was me. I like him.
He's a sleeper, and I think that would be a good pick.
Yeah,
where he landed, I think would be a good pick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally.
Tony was.
That's a great pick. Great pick.
Was that Mario?
Yeah.
That was an excellent pick.
Yeah, that was very, very good. I loved. I was gonna pick him if he fell to Baltimore, but I was worried that he wouldn't. So
I toyed with the idea of taking my boy Creed Humphrey at 23.
I know you did. I know you love. Let's talk about that, since a couple of us, we know we have sleepers who didn't go off the board, who's still available that you think could go up in the first, or even if they don't go in the first, who you think is going to be good in this draft, since this is kind of the draft episode.
Yeah, so if the Jets take Greg Newsome at 23, they need to take Creed Humphrey at 34. They need it. He's my favorite. He's my favorite. He's not necessarily like the best prospect, but he's my favorite prospect.
Gotcha. Even though he's listed kind of lower, and like he's like the third best IOL prospect, but he's listed down in like the 40s, 50s.
Though they're idiots, because he's going to be the next Dick Mangold. I guarantee it. He's phenomenal.
I mean, that's a lot of people have had him on their sleeper board, so he might move up. I don't disagree with you, but I was just curious how you felt about that.
Oh, I love him. I would take him at 34, and I wouldn't think twice about it whatsoever.
Yeah, I definitely think he's a good one. Again, for me, I told you my mentality. Let's talk about for our teams now, since we're like done with this bullshit. Like, what was your mentality with your pick or picks? Like, for me, I already kind of talked about this. I was locked in at 16 for J.C. Horn. If he wasn't there, I was going Elijah Vera Tucker. That's where I was going. And for some reason, if neither of them were there, I was probably going to go Caleb Farley, but I didn't love doing that. So as you're coming back, Cox, what we're talking about is, now that we're here, what was your thought process for your team? What were you thinking in terms of people if they were there? Since you guys heard me first, if Jay or Mario wants to go with what they were thinking.
So the Jets had 2 picks, or have 2 picks in the draft, and not draft. Obviously, Zach Wilson is a fucking no-brainer. That's what's going to happen. I would be okay with them taking Justin Fields, too. Honestly, it's like 1A, 1B to me.
Okay, interesting.
I prefer Wilson just because of his accuracy and his art. Like, if you watch his tape, it's like, it's so easy for him to just like yuck it like fucking 50 yards down the field.
Yeah.
So that's a no-brainer, obviously. 23, I wanted a premier offensive lineman on the board, but it didn't fall that way.
That's me. I did that.
Because
everybody.
Because DT's a son of a bitch, and I hate you for it. But if it falls that way on Thursday, I have no problem with them taking Greg. Like,
Yeah.
get the best available corner because our cornerbacks are not good.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually for the Giants. For me, like I said, you've heard me speak since we've been doing this podcast. Offensive line. But the big guys are going to be gone. Slater's going to be gone. Sewell's going to be gone by 11. We know that. So that's why I think you got to go with weapons, and that's why I took Devontae Smith. But I think with their next pick, with the second pick, they got to go offensive line. I would love if Jalen Mayfield was available at 2. Who knows? But I mean, they need a good big right tackle, and that was my thinking. It was obviously I wanted offensive tackle, right tackle, but they're going to be gone. So I mean, you got to go with playmakers. So that's why I picked Smith.
For sure. Cox, what was your mentality there? Well, I know a little bit. We already talked about it, but
it was luxury.
Yeah,
but a lot of my mentality actually did go into solidifying the defense. However, Christian Barmore was gone. Micah Parsons, Elijah Vera Tucker were gone. Kwity Paye were gone. Azeez Ojulari were gone. So a lot of the guys that I actually really wanted for that defense were gone. So at that point, it's, whatever luxury pick you want, which Travis Etienne was the best pick available. But if I had to take my pick, it'd probably be Christian Barmore would be who the person I would have wanted most for the Bucs at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Just because Ndamukong Suh's not getting any young, and Ndamukong Suh does provide, him along with Vita Vea, on the interior of that defensive line, allow you to push inside, and then you have, Barrett and JPP coming outside. And I kind of wanted to keep that dynamic if I could, but Barmore was gone, and Barmore, presented the best, like, kind of, not so much getting sacks.
Sorry, Cox.
No, it's fine. He provided not so much the getting sacks numbers. It was the how many plays is he going to fuck up kind of numbers.
Yeah,
and that's what he would do, and that's what I would prefer. Like, it doesn't have to be sacks or whatever, but does he get in there and does he fuck up the play? Barmore does that, and he would have done that fantastic. But considering he wasn't, then you know what? At that point, I'm going to go luxury and a running back at 32. That's a luxury pick.
Yeah.
Take it.
Totally. No, I appreciate hearing you guys' your mentalities, your thoughts on it. If you have any other thoughts about the process really fast, we can work those out. Let me know. But what I'm really thinking next, because we said we were going to talk about a little bit, is like sleepers, people either that weren't picked in our little mock or people that generally are kind of flying under the radar that you really like in the deep dive and analysis you've done for our little mock here. I know Jay loves Creed Humphrey. I don't know if he has anybody else to kind of hand it off to him first.
Oh, I have a few. Creed Humphrey's my guy. I'm obsessed with this guy. Oh my God, he's gonna be the best center in the NFL very soon. He's excellent. He's excellent. Other sleepers, I got Davonte Williams from UNC.
Yeah, I have him on my list too. I think he's going to be good.
Going back to offensive line because that's kind of my deal. Wyatt Davis from Ohio State.
Yeah.
He's fucking enormous, dude.
Yeah.
Wyatt Davis next to Mekhi Becton.
Yeah, he's 313 fucking pounds.
Good fucking luck.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want me to keep going because I have a few others.
Leave some for the rest of us, and then if we don't bring them up, okay?
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Coxie, you got anybody?
Me personally, I'll just bring up the other person out of Tampa, which was Kellen Mond. But I just think he's gonna fall.
He will fall.
So they could probably get him in the second round, but Kellen Mond for me is he a project? Yes, 100%. But is the talent there? 100%. The talent is there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dude is versatile. He can run. He can throw. He can throw on the run. And having him sit behind Tom Brady for a couple years would be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
So I fiddled with that at 32, but I just feel like he would fall to 64. So that's why it's.
Oh, he'll fall to 64. I guarantee it.
So
Yeah, definitely. Mario.
I mean, there was a few guys that I was thinking, but one of the guys I've seen some of the tape is inside linebacker Jamin Davis from Kentucky.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yes,
He's one of those he's one of those like new breed. You know, he's 6'4", 234 pounds, inside linebacker. You know, can go east to west. I think he's a guy to look out for in this draft. I think somebody's going to get him, and they're going to get a good pick.
Yeah, I actually toyed with taking him with the last Buffalo pick.
Oh, okay.
He's one of those players that like has been rising rapidly as far as draft boards, and like draft pundits are obsessed with him. He's I think spot on, Maria. He's really good.
Yeah, definitely. I have two guys. I don't want to take. There's maybe like 3 or 4 I could say, but I'll do 2 guys that I think I like here. That'll probably go early-ish second, maybe mid-second that I like, and one of them is it goes against what I said before about kind of littler guys. Oh my god, that was so hard. But I like Rondale Moore out of Purdue a lot as a weapon. I just don't think he's got. I mean, it's not that I don't think he has first round talent, but with the measurables the way they are, and you know, again, he played at Purdue. Maybe not as many eyes on them. Maybe. You know, I'd like to see what he can do at the second level, and I think he definitely has a high-end potential to really be a weapon wherever he goes. So I think that would be a solid pick for somebody looking in the second round. The other guy's Eric Stokes, cornerback from Georgia. I like him a lot. He's got good size for the position. Georgia, they've been churning out some good DBs the last little bit here, so I'm excited. I think he could also really be an asset to a team in that second round area. But those are the 2 guys I wanted to kind of shout out and bring up.
Yeah, both.
Nice.
Yeah, both
Good
really
pick.
good.
Yep, good guys.
Yeah. Did we talk about your guys, or do you have a couple others?
I think. Well, I was just gonna touch on Rondale Moore. He was projected to be like a top 20 pick. I think he opted. I think he's another one that opted out.
Yeah.
He's got all the talent in the world. It's just the size, is a little scary. But I think with like new offenses, like you got the Shanahan offense, like type of deal that's like making its ways through the NFL at this point. And I think like little guys are going to get more exposure than they used to.
Yeah, it's looking like the wide receiver meta is like going more like small, fast guys anyway. So there's definitely potential.
Yeah, so like the advent of the slot. Remember, like when we were kids, like the slot receiver was like an afterthought, right? And that was like a premier position. And I think it's gonna continue to go in that direction, where the shiftier guys that can get open really quick.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I totally got you. Any other final thoughts as we wrap things up, gentlemen? I think unless you guys have some other things to talk about, I think we're good.
No, I can't wait. I can't wait for the draft. I can't wait to see what our prospective teams do.
Yeah, 100%.
Super exciting, and I'm truthfully, I'm wishing the best for all our teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll hope we get guys who help us far into the future, except maybe Cox. But I'll only mess with you. As
but not at all.
Yeah, a little bit. A perspective thing that's happening is at least Jay and I are going to watch the draft live on a video call. You guys are obviously more than welcome to join. I may or may not record it for live reactions and get that edited down as more of an edited piece as opposed to a live podcast. Just because I think it would be fun to do. So for the listeners and viewers, that may be, I'm not 100% on that, so don't expect it. Just like I said, we would get this 2 weeks ago and then we didn't. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. But
what time does it start on Thursday?
I think it's probably like 8,
7 or 8, right?
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye out on that.
It might be a little late, but
that's fine. So we'll probably Jay and I are at least going to be on a video call. We may record it for content for y'all.
I already took Friday off, so
yeah. And if all lines up schedule-wise, we'll have a podcast with post-draft thoughts and feelings coming at you next week. Fingers crossed on that. I don't think we currently have any conflicts, but you never know what's going to come up. But we appreciate you all being patient with us and getting this out. We hope you enjoy this. This was a lot of fun to make. I hope it's a lot of fun to watch and listen to as well. We appreciate you as always, and I hope your team does pick somebody great in the draft. Unless you're a Pats fan, I hope you get another D2 safety. Because that's just, I mean, in Bill we trust, right? I'm mean. I'm rude. I'm sorry. I shouldn't do that. Either way, we love you. We do hope the best for y'all. Football's coming back soon. This is kind of the first little glimpse of that. And we hope you enjoy. We'll talk to y'all next time.
Peace
Catch
out.
you guys later.